folks, it's just that easy. Hey folks, it's just that easy. You mix it up, you fix it up, you do it yourself. He can turn your little shack into a first-class castle. Save you time and money and a great big hassle. Hey folks, it's just that easy. You mix it up, you fix it up, you sand it down, you paint it brown, you measure twice, you cut it once. It's just that easy.
Hey, and a very good morning to you all, folks. Welcome to the AskShell.com show. We are the home information show, and we take everything from the, you might say, the kitchen to the entertainment area, to the inside of the home, to the outside of the home, from top to bottom. Any questions that you have on your home, we're here to take care of that for you here on the AskShell.com radio network. And we always talk about the how to, the what to, the where to, the why to, the when to, and possibly the who to in the event of you're having any difficulty at all finding someone to do that job for you. Yes, we will take care of it for you here on the show. The telephone number, we will have Morgan, our operations manager. He's going to give you all that information. You can certainly send an email, or you can give us a call. Morgan, good morning to you.
Good morning, Shell. Yes, our phone number is 778-574-1077. That's 778-574-1077. And the phone lines are open, so phone in with your home improvement question. You can also email us through askshell.com. You can also find a certified home service provider at askshell.com. Ask Shell a question, read articles, watch videos, and listen to past shows. You can visit our YouTube page, where we are over 2.8 million views now. Go to our Facebook page and like Shell Buzzy's House Mart Referral Network, or you can follow on Twitter at Shell Buzzy.
And that number again, 778. Morgan?
574-1077.
1077. That's the number to call, folks. If you'd like get information that you would like from me, 778-574-1077. Give us a call. Morgan's here right at the controls, ready to take care of you with any of your inquiries. And as you say, Shell Buzzy here, I'll take care of them for you. Incidentally, for any of you folks out traveling on the highways, I don't normally give traffic conditions, but there is a rollover accident right in front of King of Floors on number 10 highway. So that's just a little east of 152nd. So if you're heading into the city or you're heading into the valley, right in front of the King of Floors, there is a rollover accident. There's many police cars and ambulance, and also we have the fire trucks on control, and everyone's there being well taken care of. It's just a matter that there are going to be some delays on that strip of road. Okay, so take care of that, folks. We'll certainly take care of you here on the AskShell.com show. Now, today, we have a very interesting guest. And in fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to swing it around for this guest as far as his profession. First of all, to relate to the home, because being involved in what he really is involved in, he's a doctor, first of all, and everyone starts to think now, oh, doctor, what is his profession? And well, his name is Dr. Clinton Lee. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning, Shell.
It's so nice to have you here, and this early in the morning, I might add.
Thank you.
You bet. And Dr. Clinton Lee, folks, is from the Vinoscenti Vineyards. He's a professional. He's a doctorate. And let the doctor himself give what that real profession, the outline really is all about. Doctor?
Well, thank you very much, Shell. It's a pleasure to be on your show. Oftentimes I'm asked, oh, you're a doctor? And I say yes, and I'm not a medical doctor, but I have a doctorate in business, and more precisely in cultural diversity and organizational culture. So when I tell people and I share with them my experiences about what I do, and they say, how did you get into the world of wine? Well, wine, grapes are very similar to people. We come from a different background, a different area, and we are always trying to find what is the best wine, how we interact with people. They are one and the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you do it a little bit different than most vineyards today. And a lot of vineyards today do have activities. They have some lunches and dinner menus, and along with the vineyard itself. And you have a little different approach to your activities. Outside of the fact that we'll get around to it here eventually, you have fabulous wine. But what are some of the activities? I see you got Spain and Portugal coming up now. What's that all about?
Well, as I'd mentioned to you earlier on and to the listeners, wine goes hand in hand with culture. And what we've done at Vinascenti is this year I've created the first annual Wine and Culture series. We have 3 countries, of which I've put Spain and Portugal together for the Iberian coast. Then we have Italy and France. So on May the 26th and 27th, we're having our very first 2 countries, which are Spain and Portugal. And our guests will be entertained to a spectacularly rich and cultural, vibrant event that they really don't want to miss, which will encompass music, song, dance, and wine is all about culture.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, we certainly like the culture within the industry of even the home, because it is part of the home gathering, the family getting together. There's a lot of projects in and around the home the family will get together and do, be it inside or outside. And it's always nice to have a variety. I mean, talking about home improvement 100% of a show sometimes could get a little boring. So with the new AskShell.com show and the activities that I've been involved in over the years, in fact, last night, for an example, I'm the activities chairperson for Probus, which is the Professional Businessmen's Association here in the area of Greater Vancouver. And I just love that job because, you see, I get to organize outings. Like last night, we had an outing for dinner. Then after dinner, we went to theater. So it's a culture part of it. Now, let's give the listening audience, because we've been there, Frankie and I have been there, but let's give a run through as to when you come out to one of your events. Let's relate to the event that you're speaking of here. When you arrive at your vineyard, what takes place from that point?
Well, as soon as you arrive, you'll be greeted by lush, vigorous, warm, welcoming vines that will gently be swaying in the wind. It'll be a wonderful day, we certainly hope. Our greeters will be there, and we will gently guide you to the area where we have these activities, which will be nestled right in between the vineyards. Mm-hmm. Very romantic, very touching, and a place of solace, but also a place where you will have that pensive moment and reflect not only on life, but on cultures and on travels that we've had in our life. I've traveled had the fortune of traveling to many, many different countries, and wineries have historically been the cultural center of a community. Mm-hmm. Certainly in today's modern world, some wineries move more with this trend, some are not. But certainly with Vinascenti, we believe that the winery itself is a cohesive part of the community.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about it. As I mentioned, I have been there with my lovely wife and enjoying the festivities that take place. And the activities are really outstanding. We were there recently when there was wonderful, beautiful dancing. Now, the way that you present that is so unique. And you're an absolutely born presenter. And not only are you talented in what you obviously know, associated with your business of vineyard, but the talent in what you deal with, right from the wine, right up to the food, the culture, the dancing, and whatever happens to take place. And it's presented in such a unique manner. Now, how do you reach people?
Well, we'd like to reach more people, I think would be the appropriate way that I would answer that, Shell.
By golly, you got to enlarge your facility, because you got a nice large area there now. But I can see this over the next few years. Things are going to grow.
Well, the winery has in the past been a desert, and I would like many of the listeners to consider the winery to be their own personal winery, as we are Surrey's very first winery, land-based winery. It's very important in the sense that the community sees it as such, and that's why we've opened up for ourselves and for the community to be the hub, to be the focal point. So for artists, musicians, we are this year working, and very proud to be working with the Surrey Arts Council, where we're going to be offering what we call the Vinascenti Vineyard competition, art competition.
Nice. So really, the location too, you should really give that location, because you are fairly centralized to Greater Vancouver. And being centralized means a lot to people today, coming out in the evenings, for example. And but you are very located in a central area of, you might say, Vancouver to Abbotsford, actually in the center, in the Cloverdale area.
Right. We're based at 15560 Colebrook Road. And prior to me owning the winery, I must admit, I would very rarely travel out to this wonderful part of the Lower Mainland. But now that I am entrenched and becoming part of this wonderful community, it's about a 30-minute drive from Vancouver. You can take Highway 91 or Highway 99, come up 152 and take the Colebrook turning. It reminds me very much of another winery called Chateau Aubryon, which is nestled in between the city in the left bank of Bordeaux. And
Bordeaux wine.
And yet here we are in our own backyard in Surrey. We have buildings, lovely commercial buildings set up all around us, and yet this is a little oasis.
Right. Well, you're right in the heart of that greenery. And folks, as I indicated right from the beginning, anything to do with the home, from the, you might say, the kitchen to the table to the dining room to the flooring to the ceiling to the walls to the inside to the outside, this is the AskShell.com show. And if you'd like to call and even have the opportunity of talking to Dr. Clinton Lee, do so. The telephone number is 778-574-1077. That's 778-574-1077. You're listening to the AskShell.com radio network, and this is a show that we take care of your questions. We've got emails. We got all kinds of information to come your way. As I indicate, it's the how to, the what to, the where to, the why to, the when to, the who to, making things just that easy. So we'll come back with an email and more with Dr. Clinton Lee from the Vinascenti Vineyard. I love that. Vineyard here in Greater Vancouver. Talk to you right after these messages. Welcome back, folks. Shell Busey here with the AskShell.com show. We take care of anything and everything in and around the home. In fact, we like to start out with a guest, and our guest today is a very unique individual from the Vinascenti Vineyards, and has his own vineyard, but he's also a doctorate of well, I like to say anything to do with liquid when it comes to the culture of wine and liquors from around the world. and he has just put together a wonderful facility in the Greater Vancouver area, located out near the, actually the center of Surrey, for example, in Cloverdale, out on Colebrook Road, actually. His name is Dr. Clinton Lee. You might have already been part of his activities that he has on, along with his wonderful wife and all his staff. Just really, really a great opportunity. We're going to continue on with the doctor. Keep in mind, folks, we're going to read and the emails that are coming in, and also we would like very much for you to give us a call, if you'd like to give us a call, at 778-574-1077. This is an open line live show, folks. We're here. You're not going to talk to a machine. You're going to, well, sometimes I think he's a machine, but Morgan is here, 778-574-1077. And as I mentioned at the opening of the show, there is a rollover accident on Highway 10 right in front of the King of Floors, and that's just a little east of 152nd, or if you're coming through, it's a little, west, I guess you would say, of 168th. And it's a lot of traffic backup, but everything is on location there, ambulance and fire trucks and police, and everything is being taken care of, other than I know there is going to be some backup because it's a rollover accident. Okay, well, let's continue on here, Mr. Morgan. If you would give us an email, then we'll go from there and get things rocking and rolling here on the AskShell.com radio network.
Absolutely, Shell. Our first email of the day comes in from Suzanne in North Vancouver. We have a new wood deck put on at our cottage. It is 15 feet by 45 feet and about 2 feet above the ground. We used bare deck over on it, and within a year it has bubbled and peeled. I realize now we should not have used this, as moisture from being so close to the ground is not good. Can we remove this? It is sort of rubbery, and if so, how and what can we coat the deck with, or should we rip it out and have a new deck put in its place?
Well, my goodness, Susan, I wouldn't want you to have to go to that cost, but thank you very much for the email. And let's not blame it on the material that you put on as a finish, okay? What we are dealing with here, Suzanne, is the how-to. There's so many products today out there in the industry that has absolutely nothing more than a couple of paragraphs on the label saying how to. And I can tell you right now, from over 50 years in this business and over 30 of it on the radio, I have really great admiration for the companies that produce stains and finishes. The understanding of how to apply it and why you do is what is being left out. Because when in doubt, don't pout, let Shell help you out. Because it is something, folks, that is just not right. There's millions and millions of dollars spent on product today that go nowhere. It's wasted because of application. So here we go, Susan. What you should have done before such time as anything took place in building your deck, that every board that was going to be on top of that deck, be it spruce, be it cedar, be it treated wood, whatever the case may be, that product should have been laid down on top of the joist system. And thank you very much for sending along the pictures, because I could see where treated lumber was certainly used. But when you use treated lumber down next to the water or 2 feet off the ground, as you indicated, your joists are in great shape. No problem. You're not going to be walking on them. They're not going to be showing their faces to the sun or the dryness. They are underneath and very likely, in all cases, being protected with the little bit of moisture that they do get. But what you put on top of the deck, be it whatever species of wood, you should always lay that species out on top of your joists. Those are the pieces of material that are on top of the concrete blocks or whatever type of substructure you have. Whatever you're going to put on top, you lay on top of those joists and you flip them over to get the side that you want to show as being your finish. That's the most important thing, because that's what you're going to see when you are finished and entertaining on your new deck. Once you've got those boards all selected out, be it 2x4, be it 2x6, be it 1.25 inch, we call it 5/4 stock, whatever it happens to be, treated or otherwise, now you take what you've got facing you and turn it over. Turn it over. Put the good side down. Put the good side down, and then you put a sealer primer finish on the underside. Because if you don't do that, then you are the cause of the problem. I don't like to really say that, but unfortunately, you have never been taught how to do that, because normally, in some cases, the people that are selling you the product haven't explained it, or they put it on sale in the center of the aisle at the store, and what do? You end up buying 3, and you get the 4th one free, all that sort of stuff that goes on today, but you don't get the information on the how to, the what to, the where to, the why to, the when to, the who to, okay? Now you've got the sealer on it. Now you flip it over to the side that you're going to walk on, and you give it a coat along with the edges. You give that a coat, and you can be doing all this. Now, I know a lot of people, the reason why they choose to do this first coat or primer coat is because to bring a painter out, an actual service trade to come out and do this, it means a second trip. So the first trip to do the priming, the second trip is going to be for the person, the carpenter, put the boards down, and then the third trip is going to be the finish on top. And that may be you again, or it may be the trade. But you know, finishing a deck and doing it properly is so easy. And it can be rolled on, it can be brushed on, it can be sprayed on. But the reason why you do this, when your finished deck is down and the primer coat has been already applied and the top coat is now finished, what happens underneath that 2-foot section that you indicated? Absolutely nothing. No moisture can come out of the ground and go up into the wood fibers, because if it went up into the wood fibers, guess what? It goes up into the wood fibers, the sun comes out, the sun draws that material up to the surface on the underside of your finish, and away it goes. It will split, it will blister, it will peel, and that's what you have now. So it's all in the application of the product. And you know, there's companies out there today that will give you free product if it fails. And really, it's not their fault. It's the product application that's being caught short. So now you're asking, what should I put on it that's going to stick around? Well, my suggestion would be to rent yourself a 2 feet, it's not a really good location to work in or under, but I would suggest what you do now is to get a hold of a trade, a service trade that will have long jet or spray apparatus that will go underneath and spray the underside and put that sealer on, and then you can use that same company to blow off using a power pressure washer to blow that finish that's on there off. And then once that's all dry, apply your second coat of finish, or maybe the third coat if you put 2 of the top coat on before. But the first coat of new product goes on top, and this is when you do it. You do it in the morning. You do it in the morning because all day that deck was out showing its face to the sun, and that deck gets warm. And when it gets warm, that isn't the time you put product on it, because if you do, it's going to cure very quickly. It's the same as you having a shower. You don't have boiling hot showers because you'll be stepping back out of it pretty quick. Well, that's what's happening. And that material that you want to apply now goes on top when it's cool. So get up at this break of day. Right now, around 5:30 is great. Let your neighbors know that you're going to be out there working at that hour. Maybe they'll bring breakfast for you. But have that applied when that deck is cool, because that way it's just that easy. Okay? And I would use products like Deck Coat, for example, and that is spelled DECKOTE. That's the product to use. And that Deck Coat product, if you are aware of what we have in out in the Cloverdale area now, we have what's called the Surrey Hospice Society Shell Buzzy's Toolbox. And that toolbox has got deck coat on the concrete floor inside. So that tells you can use it on concrete, you can use it on plywood, you can use it on lumber like you're using and going to experience. Great product, service as well, and will wear like steel. And it's a product that is manufactured in Delta by the Consolidated Coatings people, quite available throughout Greater Vancouver. Windsor Plywood stores, I know, are big in stocking it. Some of the home hardware stores have it. Some of the Timber Mart stores have it. And some of the home hardware stores have it. So Deckcoat, D-E-C-K-O-T-E. It's just that easy. So won't you think about that next time? I hope you will. And thank you very much, Susanna. Really appreciate it. And certainly the information that you gather here on the AskShell.com is the show and the material and the ways and means of doing it the right way. We'll take this break, and we'll be back with a whole lot more. More with Dr. Clinton Lee, as well as more emails that are coming in from you. Right after these messages. And welcome back, folks. Shell Buzzy here with the AskShell.com show. And as you know, you're listening to us on the Ask Shell radio network. And you could be anywhere in the world right now listening to this program. And we hope you are, wherever you happen to be. More and more people are finding out about it. This is what, number 6 show or number 7?
No, this will be number 8.
Number 8, look at that. Good, better, best. Who worries about the rest? But, it goes by so quickly. We have so much fun doing it, and I just love taking that information out of my bank of memory and how to and present it to you. And I have Dr. Clinton Lee with me, and from the Vinashanti Vineyards out in Surrey, and we are talking to him as well as taking care of your emails and anything else that you may want to call in about. And we love live calls. Just love those live calls. 778-574-1077 is the number to call. That's 778-574-1077. Now, I'm going to throw an offer out there right now that will just really wet your whistle. I know it will wet your whistle. The reason why, I have been moving all my office material into a memorabilia office out in Cloverdale. And I want to thank very much Mr. Keith Araki. And Keith Araki now is owner-operator of my Shell Buzzy Home Improvements and Renovations. I make my office as well as Morgan in his office. And we're just going to continue on with that history and of how to and what to. And but anyway, Keith operates his business, Shell Buzzy's Home Improvements and Renovations, as well as a referral network, so we take care of that. Morgan is big on that particular end of the business. And what I do, I sit in the front office, and I've got all my memorabilia around me. And I've been sorting all this memorabilia out and taking phone calls from homeowners that want to put in, suites in the basement, maybe put in a new bathroom, a new kitchen, addition onto the side of the home. And that's where Keith comes in. He has got one of the most wonderful crew of trades that you will not believe, folks. So if you're planning on doing any renovation, doesn't matter what it is, please give us a call and make a note of the number, or just go to my website. It's AskShell.com. Okay, AskShell.com, same as this radio program. Now, when you phone or email or text, whatever you'd like to do, you can do so every day, 24 hours a day. The office hours are 9 till 3 every Monday through Friday. And then Saturday, you have me here on the show. So all of that information's there, but if you need anything to do, this is what you do. You just give us a call. Here's what I have found that I think you'd be interested. So we're going to give this to the first caller today. And if you don't call, you got to be sound asleep, because what I'm going to offer to you right now, folks, is one 2, 3 of a kind. I only have 3. I'm going to give away 1. And I normally give these away to fundraising efforts that the nonprofit organizations really appreciate having. What it is, it's a full leather tool belt. Listen to this. It's for the ladies. It's a ladies' tool belt. You've seen them in the office there. I don't really show them too much. But the leather tool belts, men can wear them, so we're not going to be trying to separate anything there. But I would love for one of the ladies to that listening right now to win this, because the leather tool belt is signed. That means autographed by the one and only Mike Holmes. And that was real. You know, I used to teach Mike Holmes a lot of things. And then Jim Carrick of Renovations, and he was the one that used to ride the big Harley Davidson out to the opening of his show. And the other autograph is by yours truly. So there's 3 autographs on the nail apron, leather nail apron, folks. And this will go to the, I'm going to put it the first caller, because I think it deserves. The first caller to call into this show right now is going to win that leather nail pouch that you can use from everything from tools, you name it, including if you want to put clothespins or if you want to put hairpins and what have you in it. The number to call, 778-574-1077. That's 778-574-1077. If you're listening, if you're driving, if you're hands-free, please be careful. And but we will see that you get that nail apron, which I'll tell you right now is worth a lot of money, if we come right down to the value of it. Because this is, I'm talking about going back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 15 years. It is 15 years that was signed by Mike Holmes, Jim Carrick, and yours truly. So there you go, folks. It's just that easy, okay? Now, back to Dr. Clinton Lee. Doctor, you were out to an event just the other night that I have been very much involved in, being with the Chamber of Commerce. And that event was called the Clovies. And you were one of the nominees for the new business of the year. How did you find that event?
It was an exhilarating experience to be at such an august event where the leaders, the business community, fellow colleagues were all gathered together.
Wow.
There was an enormous amount of camaraderie, enthusiasm, and being nominated for that category of a new business was a very proud moment for us.
I was proud for you.
Thank you very
really
much.
I was proud knowing you, first of all, but seeing that you were a nominee, I was just blown. I just thought it was wonderful.
We were very humbled by the fact that we were recognized for the efforts that we have placed into the winery and within the community. And with our fellow nominees, I think every new business that has made the decision, the definitive decision, to be a part of a community and contribute, especially in the economic climates that fluctuate. I take my hat off to any business owner and operator. So the Clovies itself is a recognition, and certainly the entire evening, the gala event, was quite magnificent.
Well, that was our 3rd annual, and it's held at the Northview Golf Course, who put on just a great opportunity for people to get together in great numbers. Beautiful environment around there. I mean, it was a glorious night out on the back deck, and having all the nominees gather there for appreciation being presented for them to be there in the position they were there for, and that's nominees. And then the selection of nominees are done in such a way that nobody knows, so it's a surprise to everyone when it comes to the nominee. And then at the end of the evening, I get involved in the auctioneering because I love auctioning and have a lot of fun doing that. So congratulations on your being a nominee, and it's just a runner-up to an event like that and being the first year in business. I think it's pretty outstanding.
Thank you very much. Shell, when I heard you delicately, eloquently, and diplomatically having the auctioneer speech and patter, it was quite marvelous.
Yeah,
a real treat to hear you.
Well, it's a lot of fun, and we enjoy doing it. And as you indicated coming in from the parking lot today, is that now what's the format? And what was my comment? Don't worry about format. We go in and we do a show real live, and you've done a phenomenal job. So just continue that on, and we're going to continue on here with the show. We got another email.
We've actually got a caller on the line, Shell. We've got our winner, Carol. So let's get Carol on the line.
Hey, Carol, how are you this morning?
I'm good. Did I just hear that I won that tool bag?
You did. You did.
That's
Congratulations to you, Carol. You will hang that up on a wall, I'm sure.
You know, I like to do my odd jobs around the house, so I probably will try to wear it.
Well,
and,
and the more you wear it, Carol, the better it looks.
Yes, and I might even wear it to work. I might have a few jealous friends.
Well, you do that because I tell you, you wear it with a great degree of interest in what goes on here on this show, and I really appreciate your caring enough to call in. And I knew someone would want that, and yours truly was the one that got these. I don't know if you recall if you ever watched the Mike Holmes show, but
Yes.
I was a judge on two of his TV programs. And the very first one, and I've got to relate back, it's over 15 years ago, and I went back armed with 3 nail aprons. And Mike was there, obviously, and Jim Carrick was there, and obviously myself, and then all the other contestants in the actual show that was being judged by yours truly. And so at the end of the day's event, and boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, those are long days. They started at 5 in the morning, and they never finished up until 10 o'clock at night. And what you see on the TV is 1 hour of that. So, and it's not 1 hour of just that. It's bits and pieces all throughout. But I had them all sign it, and then we went out and had dinner together. It was a glorious time, and you are now the proud owner of one of those nail aprons. And we will be getting in touch with you. I'm sure that Morgan has all the information, and we will call you and have you come in because we'd love to have a picture of you as well, if you don't mind.
Sure, that sounds great.
Okie dokie. Well, thank you, Carol, so much. And you have a great weekend. I'm sorry that Mother Nature is not promising us an awful lot, but hey, I know Morgan's got hit the shorts on, and I've got the short sleeves on. We're going to force ourselves to have a great weekend and get things done up around the home.
Well, we lucked out with having a beautiful week, so one little bit of rain is not going to be a problem. I did have a question I wanted to ask.
You go for it.
You know, the birds have basically dragged my whole front lawn around, and with the hot weather, I just finished kind of thatching all of the stuff that they had killed. Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering, is the best way just to go grab some potting soil and throw that around and throw some seed on?
No, what I would do, not the potting soil, I would get some good sand, get some good wash sand, go to your local garden center, pick yourself up some sand. You could buy it by the bag or you could buy it by the quarter yard and spread that out and rake it in. Rake it in because you want good, sharp sand and anything that may be associated with fresh water type of sandy, loamy material from the bottom is really great because it has all those particles of good quality feed for your lawn and your rooting. So, and then use the fertilizer. But keep in mind, birds do that at this time of the year. They're building their nests and they have It's the same as the woodpeckers out there as well. They're knocking on wood because it's their mating season. I've read so many stories about woodpeckers pecking away at the sides of homes. They're pecking for their friends. They're looking for their lady friend, and you know, a lot of these things. It's the time of the year, but they go for nesting, and that nesting material is that dry grass. So, Carol, by all means, top dress, but I wouldn't suggest
Well, I raked up a lot of it. A lot of it was moss, so there isn't a whole lot of. It's just like bottom.
Well, that's
dirt.
good. You spread the sand out, and after that, water in some grass seed, and it's going to come up beautiful because we're in for some good weather, hopefully.
Okay, great. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Carol. Do you enjoy the show?
Yes, I always listen to the show.
Good. Thank you so much. And you have a great weekend, and we'll be getting in touch with you to come into the office and have a picture. You'll see one of the first visitations to my memorabilia museum as well.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okie dokie. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye for now. Folks, a little over time here. The telephone number to call, 778-574-1077. My name is Shell Busey with Morgan and Dr. Clinton Lee here on the AskShell.com show. We'll come back right after this. And welcome back, folks. Shell Busey, the AskShell.com show. And I certainly see that this is going to be an ending show with another question on decks, because it's the time of the year for decks. I know that at our office we're getting call after call after call for Shell Busey's Home Improvements and Renovations to have a crew come in and build a backyard deck. In fact, I know there's a deck being built right now by a gentleman that is a very good friend. He's been on the program many times with me. And I know Phil George is his name, and he's building a deck now out over water. So it's actually a dock, but it goes back into the side of the hillside. But it's got it's got pilings, it's got everything else going with it. But anyway, good luck on it, Phil. I know you can do it. My great friend Phil George, the Portuguese fellow, you talk to Phil about concrete like I talked to Dr. Clinton Lee about wine. So it's just great. And incidentally, folks, when you send your emails, you most likely will get an answer before it ever goes on the show. Today, because of the number of emails that we're getting now, we're answering from the show live to you. So anyone that has a question, you'd like to text us, you'd like to email us, do it. Or you can send it by just personal phone call to the office, give the information to Morgan, or if I'm there, Morgan will give it to me. But keep in mind, Morgan's in training, and he does a great job. Let me tell you, he's learning real quick. And he's from Kitwanga, British Columbia. And if you want to see where that is, you take it and Google it, and you'll see it. It's just not too far from Terrace and Smithers, but it's up in the beautiful area of the western, in the central part, I guess you'd call it, BC. Morgan, what have we got here in an email?
Our last email of the show today, Shell, is from Ellen in Vancouver. Hi, we need to extensively repair or replace a deck on our Salt Spring Island waterfront cottage. Price is an issue. What do you recommend? Fir, cedar, treated wood, composite, or something else? Thank you.
Well, Ellen, if I had you on the telephone, this is why it's so nice to call in, but this works fine as well. But when you send an email, please include your phone number, because in a lot of cases, folks, I will phone you and to get the rest of the information that's required. I'm not saying don't email. I'm just saying include your phone number, because if I have your phone number, I will catch up to you. Morgan knows I never give up until I've talked to you. So it's always nice to have your phone, and I would call you. But in any event, I might just ask you on the telephone. I wouldn't do it on the radio, but I'm going to give you an indication of what question I would ask. First and foremost, what is your budget? Is your budget for a wood deck that you still have to finish the way that I made reference on the earlier deck question? Or are you wanting to put something in place that you never have to worry about other than clean it the same way as you would a patio or a kitchen floor? And if that being the case, then I would certainly 100% suggest composite. Composite decking, folks, is in, and it's certainly going to be in for a long time because it is a recycled material. And there's many of them out there. The one that I have used is the one that has moisture protection. They're all moisture proof, and the moisture based on decking that's composite is one of the main, I would say, one of the main concerns on wood decks, and getting them built properly with them finished on the underside as well as the top side with the proper material that are facing east, west, north, south, all of those things. But composite is where I would go. On Salt Spring Island, hey, today, if you build a composite deck, it may cost you 3-4 times more. But within a 10-year period, which the composite deck will still be around looking absolutely beautiful, you'll have paid for the upcharge, and you still won't have to finish it, and you wouldn't have had to finish it over that period of time. So, folks, think about it. Fir, cedar, treated wood are great, but composite, good, better, best. Why worry about the rest? When the good is better, the better is best. It's just that easy. So, folks, I want to say thank you very much, and I want to say thank you very much to my dear friend here from the Venushanti Vineyards, Dr. Clinton Lee. Thank you very, very much. I know that you've got some great things coming up. Give your email address, if you would, please.
Certainly. It's info@venushantivineyard.ca.
That's great. And we will give that out again, folks. So if you get your pen and paper ready, we're going to take this last break, and we will be back with our closing here on the AskShell.com show. Don't go away. Be right back. And we're back, folks. So we're the last little few moments here, and I'm going to have the Dr. Clinton Lee from the Vineyard, from the Venushanti. What's the email again?
It's info@venushantivineyards.ca.
Good stuff. And you had a few words you'd like to say?
Yeah, I did. First of all, thank you very much indeed for having me on the program, Shell. And I've learned a lot about decks today.
Oh, yeah.
Just sharing with most of the listeners out there today. You often asked, what is the best wine? And I tell you, the best wine is the wine that you like.
It's just that easy. So, folks, in fact, the doctor was mentioning, why don't we have a home improvement evening at the Vineyard and have you, Shell, come in with the home improvement, the how to, the what to, the where to, the why to, the when to, the who to. And I said, hey, we can do it. We'll have fun doing it. I want to thank you folks for listening today to the AskShell.com show. And with that, as I always say at the end of the show, you have a great weekend. Love you all.